Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Yes, good morning. This topic we are going to discuss. The name of this topic is Alembert ratio test. This is the second important test in our discussion. Look at that. What is the statement? Summation un is a series of positive terms such that limit n tends to infinity un by un plus 1 is a L. L may be any value that should be finite only. Then if this value of L is greater than 1, then we say it is convergent. Example, greater than 1 means 2, 3, 4, whatever. Similarly, the same value, limit n tends to infinity un by un plus 1, must said to be divergent if less than 1. So be value, that is the value of L should be less than 1, maybe 1 by 2, for example. Now, test fails to decide the nature of the series if L is equal to 1. This is a very after limit comparison test, we have D-Alembert ratio test. Now, most important question will arise is, what is the question? How we know that this problem can be solved by limit comparison test or this problem can be solved by ratio test? How to identify? That is the most important question. You see, if your UN value is a improper fraction, I will tell you what is the difference of proper and improper fraction. UN value is equals to 1 into 2 into 3 up to n divided by 3 into 5 into 7 and so on 2n plus 1. See, the power of numerator, n power numerator is 1, n power denominator is also 1. So such fraction is called improper fraction. The degree of numerator should always less than the degree of denominator. Then we say that it is a proper fraction. Proper fraction can be solved by limit comparison test. This is improper fraction. So what are the working rule? Un is there. Un means the nth term. Immediately we have to find out un plus 1. We don't have the concept of vn here. How to get the value of un plus 1? Un plus 1 means the next term. Like example, I will give you 1. After the next term is 2. Next term is 3. What is the next term of n? That is nothing but n plus 1. Similarly, denominator 3, 5, 7. Nth term is 2n plus 1. What is the next term? Next term will be obtained by replacing n with n plus 1. That is 2n plus 3. I'll show you. 1 into 2 into 3 and so on to n. The next term will be n plus 1. And denominator is 3 into 5 into 7 and so on. 2n plus 1 will be there. I want to write the immediate next term like 3, next term is 5, next term is 7, next term is 9, next term is 11. Similarly, 2n plus 1, the next term will be obtained by replacing n with n plus 1. So we got our answer is 2n plus 3. So let us apply for the next step, that is, we have to find out the value of un by un plus 1. Later on, we apply the limit. Now find out un by un plus 1, which will be equal to un value is 1 into 2 into 3 and so on up to n, all divided by 3 into 5 into 7 and so on to n plus 1. Now we know that the second fraction will become reverse, that is 3 into 5 into 7, and so on 2n plus 1 into 2n plus 3, and divided by 1 into 2 into 3, and so on n into n plus 1. So look at some of the terms are cancelled. If you notice here, 1 into 2 into 3 up to n, 1 into 2 into 3 up to n cancel, 3 into 5 into 7 up to 2n plus 1, 3 into 5 into 7 up to 2n plus 1 will be cancelled. So what's left? Un by un plus 1 value is equal to, if you notice what's left, we are left with 2n plus 3.
2n plus 3 by n plus 1.
Very good, n plus 1. So if you take n common and cancel it, n common, definitely we take n common means we left 2 plus 3 by n divided by denominator also, if you take n common, 1 plus 1 by n. Before applying the limit, make sure that there is no n term. This n and this n cancel. Now apply the limit. Limit n tends to infinity, un by un plus 1 value, which is equals to limit n tends to infinity. The value is what we are left to, 2 plus 3 by n, 1 plus 1 by n. As we know, once if you apply the limit, 3 by n becomes 0 because 1 by n 0. Even 1 by n is also 0. What we are getting? We are getting our answer is 2. Definitely must be greater than 1, right? So therefore, the last step we'll write it here is by ratio test, because we have applied here the ratio test. By ratio test, summation un conversion. Summation un conversion. If your value is less than 1, then we say it is done. That's the end of this. So there is a possibility that maybe it happens to be test fails. We can see that situation also where test fails. I will take some problems where there is a possibility that test fails
Can
also.
you repeat how to apply the Alembert's ratio?
See, first of all, your question, your un value must be, I will write it here. It is a improper fraction. Improper fraction. Why? Because if you see, the power of n in numerator is 1. N power, here also n power is 1. So definition of improper fraction was degree of numerator and denominator must be same. If the degree of denominator is more than the numerator, such fraction is called proper fraction. We can easily apply limit comparison test because we can choose the auxiliary series Vn here. But now here improper fraction we are unable to choose. Can we choose Vn from this un? Tell me, is it possible?
No, sir.
So now this is the problem. I hope you understand. We should take some problem where x involved and there is a possibility that the test fails. Okay, the test fail also possible. I think I should go for that question only. This is exam question. Next page. It's given in March 2023. All the question will be looked at. Second question it is. Same question again. Test the convergence of 1 plus x by 2 plus 2023 question paper. The same question came point to point. X by 2 plus x square by 5 plus x cube by 10 plus and so on. And it is already mentioned that x must be greater than 0. So again, I'll give you the hint. अभी देखिए, अभी तक कोई भी क्वेश्चन में अपन लिमिट कंपैरिजन टेस्ट के क्वेश्चन में एक्स इन्वॉल्व हुआ सो नहीं देखे आप?
नहीं देखा।
नहीं। सो अगर क्वेश्चन में आपके पास एक्स आ जा रहा या तो फैक्टोरियल आ जा रहा, सो समझ जाना है आपको लिमिट कंपैरिजन टेस्ट अप्लाई नहीं हो सकता, तो रेशो टेस्ट से सॉल्व करना बहुत आसान है, समझना। Solution. What is basic requirement? We have to get the UN value, right? UN means the nth term of this given series we require. UN is equals to, look at this. If this is a series, definitely it is a sequence. If it is a sequence, it follows a pattern. What pattern it is following? Look at that. X power 3 is there, X power 2 is there, X power 1 is there. So definitely X power 0 also may be possible.
Yes.
Right? Now, 10 can be written as 3 square plus 1. 5 can be written as 2 square plus 1. 2 can be written as 1 square plus 1. And 1 can be written as 0 square plus 1. So your nth term will be, it will be framed like that. 3, 2, 1 means n value is 1. So it's perfect square में 1 add करना है. So look at that. So now you see UN we got it. Let us see whether our UN is correct or not. Verification. We start with n is equals to 1. So here you see, if you start n is equal to 1, we must get our answer will be x power 1 by 1 square plus 1. So the answer will be x by 2, which is what? It is our second term actually. मतलब UN फॉर्म करे तो फर्स्ट टर्म नहीं बन रहा आपके पास, कहीं से भी नहीं बन रहा. देखिए ऐसे केसेस अगर अराइज हो रहे हैं, so what to do? We start our series with the second term and simply we will write here is by neglecting by neglecting फर्स्ट टर्म. एग्जाम में इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन ज्यादा देता, देखिए फर्स्ट टर्म को नेग्लेक्ट करना पड़ता, क्योंकि आपको nth टर्म बनाने के लिए I told you so many times that our summation will start from n is equal to 1 to infinity. Understood? So n is equal to 0 से start हुआ तो ये फर्स्ट टर्म बन सकता, n is equal to 0 तो नहीं स्टार्ट होता. मतलब we have to neglect the first term and get the value of un. Is this step is clear? Remaining problem is very easy.
Yes.
Now move on for un plus 1. Now that can be obtained by replacing every n with n plus 1. That is x to the power of n plus 1 divided by n can be obtained by replacing with n plus 1 whole square plus 1. Now un and un plus 1 we got it. Move on for finding that un by un plus 1 value. Always remember our series will start from the first term n is equal to 1. That is why we have to neglect the first term. The student, those who are listening my classes, be careful. This question came in 2023 paper. Most of the student they started by taking n is equal to 0 to infinity, which causes wrong. Actually, your series will start from the first term. That is why you have to neglect the first term. Now un value x power n by n square plus 1 divided multiplied by second fraction will become reverse. So this is n plus 1 whole square plus 1 divided by, you can see here, can I write like this? X power n plus 1 can be written as x power n into x power 1. Bases are equal, power should be added. Simply Cancel these two. Antul, close the door. Next. Un by un plus 1 is equals to 1 by taking n square common because we are applying the limit later on. No more n term is required. N square common means dividing with n square. Multiply by. From here also, from this, I will take n square common. So we are left with 1 plus 1 by n whole square. Actually, we are taking n common only because the square is there. Square outside आ जाएगा. Plus 1 divided by x is left here. Okay. Next step. Un by un plus 1 is equals to 1 by n square into 1 plus n square, 1 plus 1 by n square multiplied by. From these two, overall, once again, aggregate, I want to take n square common once again. So here, 1 plus 1 by n square whole square left of 1 by 1 plus n whole square plus. From this one also, if you take n square common means, taking common means we are dividing with the term divided by x. Now again, if you notice, these two are cancelled. Now once if you apply the limit, what happened? Let us apply the limit. Limit n tends to infinity. Very important question, neglecting the first term. Un by un plus 1 is equals to 1 by x is a constant pulled out of the limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 by n whole square plus 1 by n square divided by 1 plus 1 by n square. And we know that as n tends to infinity, wherever 1 by n is there or 1 by n square is there, will become 0. So 1 plus 0 plus 0 by 1 plus 0. Aggregate, our answer is only 1 by x. Can we say it is convergent? No. Can we say it is divergent? No. So we have to decide. Our problem totally depends upon x. So we write here by ratio test, because we have applied already ratio test. By ratio test, write down the three different statement of ratio test. If this value 1 by x is greater than 1, it means that 1 by x greater than 1 का मतलब है x should be less than 1. Mathematically, 1 by x greater than 1 means x should be less than 1, then convergent. X value, if it is less than 1, then convergent. The second statement of ratio test will be 1 by x should be less than 1. The meaning of this mathematically, whenever x is greater than 1, reciprocal, and then inequality will change, then divergent. And one more line of this, if 1 by x is equals to 1, the meaning of this is nothing but x is equal to 1. We say test fails. When test fails, what happened we can see. Test fail है तो क्या करना है? Long answer it is. If x is equal to 1, test fail when x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, this value of x, where we have to substitute, this value of x we have to substitute here in this equation number 1. यहाँ पर substitute करेंगे. If test fail, x is equal to 1, if you put here, what un becomes? Tell me. If x value is 1, 1 to the power of n is 1 only, 1 by n square plus 1. If x is equal to 1, un value is 1 by n square plus 1. un मतलब फिर से वो series up. Now, after this one, you see this one, now it is converted to, this fraction is nothing but proper fraction. This fraction is nothing but proper fraction. The degree of numerator is n power 0, which is always less than the degree of n power 2, which is there in the denominator. Such fraction is called proper fraction. So we can easily choose the auxiliary series Vn, taking highest power of n from numerator is 1, highest power of n denominator is n square. मतलब मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, सीधा सीधा लिमिट कंपैरिजन टेस्ट अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ अगर रेशियो टेस्ट फेल हो रहा. Limit n tends to infinity un by vn value, which is equals to limit n tends to infinity un value is 1 by, let's solve it here only, taking n square common, 1 plus 1 by n square, multiply by second fraction will become reverse, n square by 1, n square cancel, apply the limit, we get our answer is 1, which is the finite value. Okay, then by limit comparison test, behavior is same, summation un and summation vn, behavior is same, behave सेम. यहाँ से यहाँ तक जो कर रहे हैं हम ऑलरेडी करे सोचे पहले से, बट समेशन vn is equals to 1 by n square, which is comparing with 1 by n power p test. So p value is 2 greater than 1. So by p test, summation vn conversion, which means that summation un also converge. And now, तो यहाँ पर देखिए आप लेस देन में कन्वर्जेंट हो गया था और इक्वल टू में भी, इक्वल टू 1 में भी कन्वर्जेंट. So we have to merge these two statements. कैसा merge करेंगे? Hence, given series convergent if x is less than or equal to 1 and divergent if x is greater than 1. ये हो गया आपका प्रॉब्लम खत्म. तो अगर टेस्ट फेल हो रहा तो ये स्टार्टिंग से फिर से एक बार देख लो. Always we start our series with the first term. That means n varies from 1 to infinity. Now we can start variation from 1 to infinity only. In that purpose, we have to neglect the first term. First term is 1. We have to neglect. So then we are framing un value. From un, we have to get un plus 1. Because in our un, x is involved, so we cannot apply limit comparison test. So we have to go for our second test, that is ratio test. Un plus 1 we have to find out. Then we have to go for the step 3, that is un by un plus 1 value. Now, before applying the limit, make sure that there is no n term. That is why we have taken n square or n, whatever it is, take it common and cancel it. So we get our answer is 1 by x. If it is some value, like L value is greater than 1, we can say directly it is convergent. If like a previous problem, if L value is less than 1, we can say directly it is divergent. But now our test is depending upon the x value. So what do you write? If ratio test, we have to write all the three statements simultaneously. Greater than 1 convergent, less than 1 divergent, equal to 1 test case. So what happened if x is equal to 1? un becomes a proper fraction, and we know that for proper fraction we have only one test, that is limit comparison test. So we applied limit comparison test, and with the help of this we have shown that un is again convergent. So un is convergent when x is less than 1, and moreover when x is equal to 1. And similarly this problem will be divergent when x is greater than 1, ग्रेटर देन 1 हुआ तो डाइवर्जेंट, सिंपल बात क्या है जी, ग्रेटर देन 1 हुआ तो डाइवर्जेंट, लेस देन 1 और इक्वल टू 1 मींस कन्वर्जेंट। ये सीरीज में अगर x की वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 1 हुई तो कन्वर्जेंट, लेस देन 1 हो तो डाइवर्जेंट, लाइक दैट। So important question. This is the also most important question. Okay. और एक क्वेश्चन करेंगे अपन ये टॉपिक क्लियर करने के लिए। लेट अस गो फॉर वन मोर क्वेश्चन।
Okay, sir.
सी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन समझ में आ रहा है क्या? आपका रिप्लाई आज कुछ नहीं आया?
आ रहा है सर, समझ में आ रहा है।
थर्ड क्वेश्चन, थर्ड क्वेश्चन। अभी कभी कभी क्वेश्चन में आपको ऐसे यहाँ पे क्लियरली मेंशन करा दो, ये क्वेश्चन में मेंशन कर रहा हूँ यूजिंग, क्वेश्चन जैसा है बुक में वैसे ही मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, यूजिंग रेशो टेस्ट show that using ratio test to show that the series summation n is equals to 1 to infinity 3 minus 4i 1 to the power of n divided by n factorial conversion, मतलब रेशियो टेस्ट अप्लाई करके कन्वर्जन बताना है। अगर ये क्वेश्चन में रेशियो टेस्ट अप्लाई करो बोल के नहीं मेंशन करा तो भाई यू सी फैक्टोरियल आ गया मतलब रेशियो टेस्ट तो नहीं होता, फैक्टोरियल आ गया मतलब रेशियो टेस्ट से तो सॉल्व नहीं होगा। अंडरस्टैंड? सो लेट अस अज्यूम दैट summation value itself is a un value, write it down, 3 minus 4i whole to the power of n divided by n factorial. So next step is always we have to find out un plus 1. So that is obtained by 3 minus 4i whole to the power of n is obtained by n plus 1, replaced by n plus 1 because we are getting the next term. And n is again n plus 1 factorial. Now next step we have to move, that is un by un plus 1. Later on we apply, after this one we have to apply limit 3 minus 4i 1 to the power of n by n factorial multiply by second term is n plus 1 factorial divided by, इसको स्प्लिट करता हूं मैं दो पार्ट में, कैसा? 3 minus 4i whole to the power of n is one term into 3 minus 4i whole to the power of 1 is another term. Can we write like this? Bases are equal, power should be added. All में आपको
Yes, sir.
so this two are cancelled. Now next this formula also we know n factorial, actually यहाँ पर ही लिखेंगे better रहेगा, this formula. Here I want to use this formula. N factorial can be written as n into n minus 1 factorial. N factorial form में है, we write it as n into n minus 1 factorial. So let us do it. un by un plus अभी तक अपन लिमिट अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे, is equals to 1 by n factorial multiplied by n plus 1 factorial can be written as n into n minus 1 factorial divided by 3 minus 4i whole to the power of 1, no need to write. Now we know that plus 1 minus 1 cancel it. This plus 1 minus 1 cancel it. Left of term is n factorial. It's cancelling with this n factorial. Clear? Which is equals to,
Yes,
from
sir.
this n plus 1 take n common, 1 plus 1 by n divided by 3 minus 4i. Taking limit n tends to infinity on both sides. Limit n tends to infinity, un by un plus 1, which is equals to limit n tends to infinity n times 1 plus 1 by n by 3 minus 4i. So always we know as n tends to infinity, n अगर infinity हो जा रहा तो infinity का साथ जो भी ऑपरेशन करेंगे आप, your answer must be infinity only. And we know that every infinity value is greater than 1. हो गया ना कन्वर्जन? Therefore by ratio test, summation un,
Sir, can you tell again, sir, कि infinity आ रहा है?
infinity के साथ आप जो भी ऑपरेशन करेंगे ना, n tends to infinity ना,
हाँ, sir.
infinity
Yes, sir.
plus 1, infinity into 1 plus 0, मतलब infinity होगी. डिनोमिनेटर एनीथिंग इन्फिनिटी के साथ आप क्या भी ऑपरेशन करो, प्लस करो, माइनस करो, डिवाइड करो, स्क्वायर करो, क्यूब करो, रूट करो, इन्फिनिटी को जो जो भी काम करेंगे ना वो इन्फिनिटी बना देगा.
Okay, sir.
n becomes infinity मतलब anything into infinity will give you infinity only, and we know that always infinity value is greater than 1. So we say that it is convergent. We have to prove that it is convergent only. So we got it. This is convergent again, right? और एक क्वेश्चन देखते क्या, और एक शार्ट वाला क्वेश्चन देखते क्या, और एक क्वेश्चन
Yes.
देखते उसके बाद में आता हूँ. नेक्स्ट क्लास और एक भी क्लास रखना पड़ेगा रेशियो टेस्ट के लिए, थोड़े डिफिकल्ट और भी थोड़ा अलग क्वेश्चन भी आते हैं इसमें. नेक्स्ट और एक क्वेश्चन देखिए, क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. टेस्ट द कन्वर्जेंस ऑफ summation n is equals to 1 to infinity n square by 2 power n. कौन सा भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है एग्जाम में, अपन हर एक पैटर्न में परफेक्ट रहना. लेट अस अज्यूम दैट summation value itself is a un value, that is n square by 2 power n. Now after un we have to obtain un plus 1, that can be obtained by replacing every n with n plus 1. That will be whole square divided by 2 to the power of n plus 1. Now we have to move on to the next step, that is un by un plus 1 value, that is equal to, यहाँ पे ही थोड़ा सिंप्लीफाई कर लेंगे इसको, n square as it is, 2 power n also as it is, multiply by second fraction will become reverse, can be written as 2 power n into 2 power 1. We know that bases are equal, power should be added. n plus 1 whole square में से n कॉमन ले लेता हूं मैं, स्क्वायर के साथ बाहर आ जाएगा, 1 plus 1 by n whole square is left off, right? Now let us start here cancellation work. This one cancel it, this one cancel it. Now taking limit n tends to infinity on both sides, limit n tends to infinity un by un plus 1 is equals to, 2 is a constant, take outside, limit n tends to infinity 1 by 1 plus 1 by n whole square. As we know, as n tends to infinity, 1 by n tends to 0, because 0 is 1 only. We got the answer is 2, which is greater than 1. So by ratio test, मैं आज होमवर्क कुछ भी नहीं देता हूँ आपको, पहले का ही होमवर्क आपको बहुत ज्यादा है, तो बस ये प्रॉब्लम को प्रैक्टिस कर लो और पिछला होमवर्क कर लो. एंड वी हैव
Okay,
वन
sir.
मोर सेक्शन इन दिस टॉपिक ओनली. सेम टॉपिक पे एक और सेशन रहेगा आपका, उसके बाद वी कैन मूव टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. ठीक है ना। तो आज अपन जो क्वेश्चंस करें वो अच्छे से देख लो आप। ऐसे क्वेश्चंस करें जिसमें एक्स इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो रहा, प्रॉपर फ्रैक्शन है, सॉरी इम्प्रॉपर फ्रैक्शन है, डायरेक्ट लिमिट अप्लाई करें, डायरेक्ट आंसर आ गया। एक्स इन्वॉल्व हो रहा, फर्स्ट टर्म को नेग्लेक्ट करें, 2023 का इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है फैक्टोरियल इन्वॉल्व हो रहा और इमेजिनरी नंबर भी आ रहा, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन भी करें और एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन करें। तो टोटली वी हैव डन 4 क्वेश्चंस। Very important discussion today, ratio test, and this will be continuing in our next sessions also, because I found some questions which are little tricky questions that will be discussed in the next session. इसके बाद अपन रेवी टेस्ट कंटिन्यू करेंगे, right?
Yes, sir. The ratio test is a bit tricky, sir. It's hard to understand and then
No,
do.
don't say hard. Don't say hard. No integration, no differentiation, no trigonometry. Where is hard? You have to practice. अब ये क्लास की रिकॉर्डिंग अच्छे से सुन लो तो समझ में आएगा, ठीक है।
Okay, sir.
Recording, I will send you
Okay,
the
sir.
recording and PDF also. So we'll meet tomorrow. I will tell you the time. Right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.